I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Grace Warnicki. I'm the Customer Account Specialist for Bair Analytics. And what I wanted to go over tonight was our RAIDSonline free public crime map that's being provided to you by Hanover Park Police Department. RAIDSonline stands for Regional Analysis and Information Data Sharing, and its goal is to make crime data more transparent to the public. The URL is raidsonline.com, R-A-I-D-S, online.com, and as you enter the website, you're going to see the RAIDSonline disclaimer in terms of use. And if you would like to read the full disclaimer, you would just click the link and that would bring you directly to our site. Otherwise, you must click continue to continue to the map. You have the ability to navigate the map a few different ways. You could select a state and see the agencies that are participating. You could view the different agencies that are participating on the Jump to City list, or you could type them in on the search address bar. You can get as specific as your own address, your child's school's address, or a place of business, and the crosshairs icon would then appear on that address that you're searching for. Now, a few different things are going to pop up on the map as you zoom in. There are some pre-selected events, and these include homicide, sexual assault, commercial and individual robbery, aggravated assault, all the way down through arson. By selecting over under the Events tab on the left, you can actually select all events, and more data will appear on the map for you. You have the ability to turn on and off a buffer. This is really great if you're wanting to look at crimes within a certain area, let's say a mile around your house or half a mile around your child's school. By selecting the Only Display Crimes within the buffer option, you're then able to remove incidents that are not within that buffer. This buffer can range from 500 feet to 5 miles. You can also select a date range. You can select from the Quick Date drop-down that can range from yesterday to 1 year, or you can pick a specific date range. Let's say you want to look at crimes around a school now that a bar is opened within 3 miles of it. You could actually click and then select the month and the year, as well as the specific date, and you'd have the ability to look at those dates within that. You have access to one analytic layer, so let's say you want to go back and look at certain events. You would have the ability to then turn on this analytic layer and see where those events were highest. So if I go back and just turn on some of these different events we've selected, and then go back and turn on my density map, it's going to create a hotspot and show you where these are highest. If you have questions about the analytic layers, you can always contact your agency or contact Bair directly. You also have data layers, so if you're wanting more information about your neighborhood or different information, this is provided from the U.S. Census. And as you can see, some of them are grayed out. The further that you zoom out, the more that are going to turn on. Then you could open them, and let's say you want to turn on population change. It'll show you the population change from the 2000 census to the 2010 census. And you could click on any of these areas, select them, and look at that population change. We also have agency layers. Currently, your agency supplies their beat information, which is really great for the public to know. You can see that they have actually now shown up as different colors. And you can select them and look at which beat maybe you live in or your child's school's in, and then just gives you more information about the agency. We also have a section called About RAIDSonline. This gives you some more information about the product. Looking at the map, you can select an incident and you can view 8 or 9 different fields. You can look at the IR number. You can look at what your agency actually calls it. You can look at the location type as well as the date and time, and a sanitized address blocked out to the 100 block. It's also going to show you the distance from your crosshairs point. So let's say that right now I was actually looking at my house. I could see that this shoplifting occurred 1.48 miles from the house. You can also see the agency that's providing it, so if you're thinking about moving or going on vacation or anything, you can actually look at over the 400 different agencies that currently participate in RAIDSonline, and you could look at crimes around certain areas, crimes around hotels for vacations, crimes around potential houses, and look at that information and see maybe how far that is from your potential location. You also have the ability to both submit an anonymous tip and join the Police and Citizens Connected. These are really great, and they're provided to you by Hanover Park. So you can submit an anonymous tip, and this would then open it, and you would be able to submit a crime tip or suspicious activity by entering this information. You can even upload a picture, which is really great if you're wanting to be more involved. You can join the Police and Citizens Connected, and just by clicking this link, it's going to take you to the page where you can find more information about this program. Next, up in the top left hand, you can switch from the map to the data grid. And what this is going to do is this is going to show you all those incidents that you've been looking at, but in a grid as opposed to on the map. You'll see that you have these same different categories: incident, crime, date, time, location, etc. And you can also see the agency. So if you are zoomed out and you're looking at something regionally, you have that option. What's great about each of these is that you can sort them, you can add or remove them, or you can filter them. So let's say that we know we just want to look at the ones that occurred within the bank. We could easily type in bank, and then it would remove those that didn't occur at that location. Up in the top right-hand corner, you can click Clear Filters, and this is going to return you to all the data you're looking at. Under the Analytics tab, you're provided with 4 different types of analytics. Keep in mind, under my events, I only have certain events selected, and the default is 2 weeks unless I change my date range. So right now, I was looking at anything from theft to burglary from motor vehicle. That's why they're all indicated with green. If I click Select All, my analytics are going to automatically populate, and it's then going to show me more information. So right now I'm looking at all of the crime within the last 2 weeks, and I can see that the majority of it is all other non-criminal. I can also see the days that these occurred and when they occurred most often. I can look at the crime class timeline and see from May 5th to May 17th when these were occurring. So for example, May 14th we had 9 all other non-criminal. And I can even get as specific as the day of week by hour. What day are these incidents occurring and when? I can look and see, well, Fridays around 6 until about 8, there's a spike in this activity. As well as Mondays, it looks like from 7 to 9:30 or 10, there's a spike in these activities. Under the metadata, you can learn more about your agency. If you want to click on the name, it'll actually bring you straight to the website. This is great if you want to know more information that isn't on the RAIDSonline site. You can also see an image of their badge or patch, and if there's any crime types that are restricted. So you can see right now they currently submit everything. At this point, I want to remind you that just because you see an incident occur or calls for service, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to show up on the map. There are plenty of calls for service that don't turn into incidents. So if you do have any questions, you can always contact your police department directly. You can look at other information. So for example, right now I'm looking at the 5th through the 18th, and I can see 161 records in view. All time, we've uploaded May 17, 2004 through May 18, 2014. So you have lots of data that's provided to you. You can also look at the last upload date. So you can see that they've uploaded this morning. This data is recent. If at any time this is not up to date or doesn't look recent, you can either reach out to the agency directly or you can reach out to support. What's great about this product is that you can sign up for crime alerts, and you can sign up for as many of these as you would like. You would enter your first and last name and your email address. Then you would enter the address that you want to look at. So this doesn't have to be your personal address. This could be your work address, your student's school, if you want to look at their college, anything like that, a daycare. And then you would pick the distance around that address. So let's say I'm entering my home address and I want to look at all of the crimes within 4 miles. and I would like to receive a weekly report probably around 7 a.m. and always give or take 5 or 10 minutes. You might receive it a few minutes before, you might receive it a few minutes after, and then you can select the crime types that you're interested in. So if you're not interested in hearing about homicides or sexual assaults, but you are really interested in hearing about burglaries or robberies, you would leave those selected. You would then click Sign Up, and you would begin receiving these reports within 24 to 48 hours. When you receive the report, it's going to show you this information that you've requested. However, there's a link if you want to go see it on the map itself. You have the ability to go back to the map and look at that data on the map. If you wish to unsubscribe from these reports, you can scroll all the way to the bottom and you would select Stop Receiving this report. And another way is you can email support@bairanalytics.com. This works if you have multiple reports and you've moved and you want to cancel those just a bunch at once. You can do that as well. We have an iPhone and an Android app. Both apps are provided free. There's never a charge for either of them. And you can do about 80% on the app as what you could do on RAIDSOnline. So you have the ability to look at the map. By selecting this, you would then go to those same 8 or 9 fields that you can see. You can also do a density map the same way. Down at the bottom, you can search, and this would allow you to search for a city. You can also select crime types as well as dates. Then you can look at your data grid and see the same information you would see back on the map. And this is just an example of when you're searching for a city. The great thing about this app is that this little arrow up in the top right-hand corner, that's going to take you to where you are. So if you're traveling, if you're on vacation, if you've just even driven across town, you can hit this button and it's going to automatically populate and show you where you are on the map and the crime that's occurred around you. If you have any questions or you need more information on RAIDSOnline or looking at the map, you can click the Help button in the top right-hand corner, and this is actually going to let you look at tutorials, identify hotspots, and learn when different crimes occur. This gives you the ability to look at some of the different capabilities RAIDSOnline has to offer to the public. You can understand the overview. This goes over what I've talked about as far as the map, the data grid, the analytics, and the metadata, as well as the filters. It also has a tutorial for every different aspect of RAIDSOnline. So if you need assistance signing up with neighborhood watch reports, it'll actually walk you through signing up for them, if you want to unsubscribe, if you have questions about what you're looking at, and it'll go through that for you. It has all this information available to you for free. So every time we come back to the map, it'll repopulate, and at this point, anything that you're looking for can be reached either through directly going to Hanover Park or by emailing support@bairanalytics.com. If you forget that email address, it is available under the Help tab. You can also learn more about Bair Analytics and about the company and its other capabilities. Again, my name is Grace Warnicki. If you have any questions, you can either contact your agency or you can email me directly at support@bairanalytics.com. And thank you for attending this training on RAIDSOnline for the public.